What's up, everybody? So we're back out in the shop with another daily vlog, and guys, let's take all this stuff off of here. So let's get these. Boom. So this is what we're going to be working on today. We're going to get these handle scales shaped up. I don't know exactly how I'm going to contour these. I'm going to just kind of play with it and see how it feels in my hand, see where I need to move this area, the area in the center here, the back end, and then how I'm going to shape this right here for where the lanyard hole is. I'm going to do something that's kind of similar to the things that I've done in the past with these, but I'm going to go a little bit more aggressive with it on this knife. It already feels great in the hand, so I can't wait to see what it feels like whenever it's all shaped up. But let's get after it. Let's get some handle scales shaped. Let's get it. Alright, so I know I say this a lot on a lot of my handle shaping videos, but when it boils down to it, these videos are a little bit longer and it's a lot of the same exact stuff over and over and over again, me sanding wood. But I want to show y'all as much of this because this is actually one of the harder part in making knives. So what we did there was we flattened the handle scales to the spine of the knife. Now I left a lot of the texture on the spine of the knife so you could actually see the file in it, as opposed to grinding it completely flat and smooth, because I thought it would add an extra dimension, and I'll talk about that later. Now, we just take the time to go ahead and get the handle scales even with the tang of the knife while catching wood shavings on fire. That was a little interesting. I think this is the first time that's happened. So once we got them flattened to the same as the handle tang, I just put a 45-degree angle on the back of the handle to start getting the shape for where I'm going to be doing the lanyard hole. And then we're going to take my smallest attachment for my oscillating spindle sander and we're just going to round that. This is something that I've wanted to do in the past, but I finally decided to pull the trigger on it on this handle because I thought it was fitting and made sense. And it's time to go one step up in drum size and get inside that finger choil and make it nice and square. You know, doing these steps prior to shaping your handle scales is quintessential to having a good result in the end. Now, even though you can't really see much because my hand is in the way, I'm taking the top wheel on my 2x72 and I'm just starting to get the contours in there. And I am checking it very often. This is going to be a little bit different contouring than I've done on previous knives, so I have to make sure that I put it in my hand over and over and over again so that I can see where I need to adjust the contouring. That is something that I don't think a lot of people do because they just want to do the 45-degree angle, call the handle done. But for me, you know, each knife needs to be a little different and you need to put different contouring in different handles. You know, some knives require different things and different types of handles. So that's what I do with mine. I just take the time to fill it and make sure everything is where it needs to be in the hand. Now, when it comes to contouring this, I am taking the belt and hanging it over the edge of the platen to make sure I don't get any hard edges whenever I'm shaping it. I want it to be as smooth as possible. And I could be using a scallop belt right now and using the slack area, but I am removing quite a bit of material on a hard wood, so it is nice to have that platen backer to be able to really grind into it. And I'll tell you, whenever you're doing a contoured handle like this, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to where that palm swell is. So the area in the center of the handle scales that is wider, because you kind of dip in from the front and dip in from the back. You want to make sure that that's in the right area on your palm so that it feels comfortable and you're not just doing it for style sakes, you're doing it for grip sakes. We're going to go back to the oscillating spindle sander and just start rounding the sharper edges so that you get a nice smooth shape. And I'll tell you, I'm rounding this now, but I did end up removing more material and more material until it felt great in the hand. Now we're going up to a bigger wheel, and this is an 80 grit drum that we're on here. All the drums that I've worked on so far were all 80 grits. But with the larger contact wheel, we can start getting good transitions from the different contoured areas. And you're just taking the time to make everything even whenever you're doing this. You want to pay attention to both sides and not overdo it on one particular side or the other. Now when it comes to hand sanding, you can do a few different things. I like to go in with a 220 grit and just really start getting after it, and then I'll go up to the 360 grit and start smoothing out a lot of areas when it comes to transitions and things like that. Also trying to get a lot of the scratches out from the pins and the tang itself. And on this one, I did have to get a little crafty with sanding that area for where the lanyard hole is, but it worked out in the end. And once I get done with the 360 grit, we go up to 500 grit, and I'm actually going to end this at 500 grit. I didn't feel the need to go any higher than that. 500 grit puts a good, nice finish on the pins and the spine and the belly of the handle, all of that. It does a really good job. And this handle is just turning out awesome. Now that we got all of that done, it's time to go ahead, use the green compound on the fine buffing wheel, and just give the whole entire handle a buff. Remember, be careful whenever you're doing this, because you don't want the knife to be grabbed by the buffing wheel and be thrown into you. This is about how much dust I had. Now, I have almost this much dust on the floor of the shop, on my toolboxes, everything, so I've got to take some time and vacuum and wipe everything down, but this is what happens when you shape handle scales. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and wrap up today's daily vlog. Partially because I'm wore out and the whole entire shop is dusty. The other part is because this is done and it looks beautiful. So this has got to be probably it's my favorite handle scale that I've done, and it's got to be the most beautiful ones. If y'all thought that other scales that I've done in the past were really good looking, they don't even come close to this. Okay? So, look at this. The way they're contoured with the colors and everything is even on both sides. I took the time to make sure they were all even. Nice polish on those pins right there. And then look at the way that we did the lanyard hole. Tapered it all the way up into the tang itself, with just the steel from the tang hanging out on the end there. That is an absolute gorgeous knife. And you can't really tell too much, but let's see if I can get it to focus on here. I did leave some of the file on the spine, so you can see these little lines going across, just to add a little extra dimension, and that goes all the way down the spine. I love the way this turned out. Guys, if y'all like this, tell me about it in the comment section. I want to hear your feedback. And guys, again, if you like it, you should probably go ahead and like the video. Guys, this is just, I'm over the moon with this. I love the way this turned out. It feels insanely awesome in the hand. But hey, again, if you like this, share this video. Share a video I've done in the past that might be your favorite. And if you have not yet, bottom corner, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell so you get notified from when we sharpen this, cut some stuff with it, and then make a sheath for it. Thank y'all for coming by. Thank y'all for spending your time with me. Y'all have an amazing day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.